Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's time for another Kofuzi Run Club live stream. It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2020. I had to think about that for just a second there. My hat's kind of all over the place today. I think I'm getting to the point where my hair just doesn't fit underneath the hat anymore. I don't know how people with long hair do it. But my hair's not that long, but it's getting longer, and there's just a lot of it. I've always had very thick hair. Now, I guess with my receding hairline, I have the unusual condition of having very it's thinning up front, but very thick where I do have it. So, but it's just creating. It makes it very hard to keep a hat on properly. And this Pat Project hat, I love running in it, but just wearing it around, it just kind of feels like it's always sliding around. So, if you see me fidgeting with it today, that's what's going on. So, for anyone listening to this on the podcast version, I forgot to turn the microphone off in the beginning intro. That's why it kind of starts mid-sentence. But hopefully everyone's doing well today. I kind of got distracted sitting with the baby downstairs. She was eating a bowl of macaroni, and we were watching. There's a new season of Super Monsters on Netflix, in case anyone is a fan of the show. So we were watching that, and I got kind of I wasn't watching it, but I was kind of looking at my phone and just enjoying the warmth. The baby was sitting on my lap. It's still chilly out here. So I was almost in pseudo nap mode. I was kind of in zombie mode. How are you guys all doing? We got not really Hank Aaron in here, Jeff Elliott. Man, you guys should get here so early. It must be just as soon as I make the thumbnail and the scheduled stream, you guys are jumping in. That's pretty cool. Don't feel like you got to do that though. Please. Kai Smithley's here. Martha. We got Louis Becerra, Jeff Elliott, Bert Legas. Martha says that I'm looking super dapper today in a white on black outfit. Yeah, I guess this is my COVID formal wear. Sorry, my phone's buzzing and stuff. But yeah, it's just because it's been so chilly. I didn't bring that many long layers. And I've got this, and I've got a black, that John G hoodie that I really like. So those are the only two ones that I have. And I only brought them for having bonfires outside at the fire pit. So it's the only reason I have them. But now I'm thinking that I need them more. And I also realized that this morning, the temperatures were in the 50s when I was out on my run. It's really chilly out here. And I was like, ooh. Not much more. I'm going to want to have a thin layer of gloves. And it'll just be so weird to run in gloves in August. I'll refuse to do that. And I think it's going to warm up from here on out, and we'll get back to normal summer temperatures. But I was thinking, I wouldn't have minded gloves today, even though I was running in half tights and a tank top. I'm that guy. Adam Steves is here. Shannon Sides says she's 1 minute early. Awesome. Good to see you here. Jazzy says, good day, everyone. Not unlike, though, he said good day. Not like Jody Runs. Is Jody here yet? Jody Runs always says, good day, because he's from Australia. So we got a good day from Jazzy. Very cool. J. Mark Remy finished his virtual race just in time. Awesome. Kai Smithley says, let's get it started. Yeah, let's get it started. For today, there's no theme, so we're just Q&A, hanging out, chit-chatting about what's going on. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff Elliott says, I'm just worried I'll forget to sign in right on time. Yeah, I forget that too. I also forget it. So I usually set a timer for myself in the day. So that way 2:50, I'll start getting up here, get the mic ready, and make sure batteries are charged. Oh, I didn't make sure the battery was charged today. But I just pulled it off the charger. But it's a dual charger, and one of the batteries was dead. But that was this morning. So hopefully by now, we'll see if we make it all the way through with full battery. We had a problem with that a little while ago. Raymond Alt says, how's it going? First time viewing. Welcome. I hope you enjoy. Tony Macia says, usual suspects are all here. Yeah, definitely. Very cool. Robert Archuleta, Stevie76, Laney A, Ziolo, coming in from Poland. Awesome. Okay, cool. Let's see. Adam Steve says, what's going on, everyone? Finally got local legend status on a Strava segment along the river in Boston called Tracksmith 400. I think I could retire now. Yeah, I feel like if you're a local legend on a segment called Tracksmith 400 in Boston, that's got to be pretty cool, because I'm guessing it's called that because the people at Tracksmith maybe made the segment, and it must be close to where they work or where they run. So if you're going to get local legend status on that, maybe Adam works for Tracksmith, or lives near there, I'm assuming. But that's pretty cool. I think that's really cool. Arnold Ellis got a haircut, weighed myself after, and lost a pound. Yeah, yeah. I don't know how much I'll lose, but yeah. I was saying, someone was mentioning the other day, because the other day I did a video without a hat on, just like my regular hair, and I haven't put like any sort of product or anything in my hair for a long time, probably since March, like late March. And someone was like, interesting hair today. I'm like, yeah, it's my COVID hair with the receding hairline. This is probably my hair's like last hurrah. Like I feel like once I cut this hair, I might have like a couple of years of regular haircuts left, and then at some point it'll be like, well, maybe it's time to shave it all off. I think I'm gonna get there because, well, they say, what is it on your mom's side? If the men on your mom's side are bald, then you're likely gonna go bald. Isn't that like how like the old wives' tale goes? And the men on my mom's side are all very bald. I think they are. So I think that's what I have in my future. I mean, I'd love to have my dad's hair. My dad's hair looks great. I always feel like I've long felt like my dad and is like an Asian version of Jimmy Johnson, like the old like Dallas Cowboys quarterback. They have the same haircut. They have the same like, rosy cheeks, kind of like the like boyish good looks kind of thing. And he's got like magnificent salt and pepper hair. So I'm envious. I don't think they're here today. They might or may not. I haven't seen my mom yet. But she apologized yesterday, just so you guys all know. She wasn't around because their internet was having problems because they're getting hit by the tropical storm Isaias. So like they were having some major problems, but they say they're fine. It was just like the internet wasn't reliable, so they couldn't join. All right. So Inez Dunbar says, hey, Kofuzi and everybody, did a Zoom Tabata class with Emmy, my daughter, then out for a 5K with Pip. Pip didn't do the Tabata. Very cool. That's very cool. Awesome. I think it's cool. Inez and I are having like analogous experiences on like opposite sides of the world. Getting the children involved in running with dogs. I mean, although like I feel like Inez is like my doppelganger, but like a couple of years ahead of me in terms of advancedness, in terms of working out with the children and running with the dog. I have much to learn, I think. All right, let's see what else we got here. Saw something from Frank. Where'd it go? Something about Triumphs. Oh yeah, Frank Lahulier says Triumph 17s came today. I'm going to try them. They don't seem too hot to me. Well, that's good. That's good because I feel like if you don't think that if a person, not you, but if a person doesn't think the Triumph 17s are hot, then I mean I think you're in for a really pleasant running experience because then you're getting the benefit of all that memory foam, or I don't know what it is, but I think it's memory foam in there. And it's a nice shoe. I've been putting in a decent, well, I mean, not a lot of miles, but I've been running frequently in the Triumph 18. I'll have a video about it tomorrow, or another video about it tomorrow. And I've just been really liking it. I don't know that it's all that different, but it just seems a little bit more stripped down, which I think like if you were looking for like a super max cushion, super plush, like comfortable all day, every run, like you might be disappointed in the changes. I like the changes because I just don't ever feel like I need all the padding and the plushness. But I also started to think like, you know what? If you strip this thing down anymore, it's going to be a lot harder to distinguish it from the endorphin speed. And I was like thinking about that today because I tried to put in like a quick like quarter mile-ish or so, just like a little quick burst in my run. And so I was like, oh, this actually still really works at faster speed. So I was just thinking about that a lot. All right. J. Mike Remy says, going to see my pizza sponsor in a little while. Oh, I'm so jealous. I really want a pizza sponsor. I think that maybe I could figure out a way to get like the local pizza place in maybe not even Happy Joe's, but like the local pizza place in Dyersville. I think it's called Chad's. I don't even know what the name of the pizza place is. It's probably called Chad's Pizza, but my in-laws just call it Chad's because that's the name of the guy. Because it's a small town. So, I mean, like, that's how you know things here. So maybe I can, like, talk to Chad. But, like, I don't know how valuable that would be for him to get me as a pizza sponsor, as, like, a sponsored pizza athlete. But you know what I saw today? And, like, I wanted to, like, yell at the guy because I was like, who are you? I was doing my video. I was getting ready to do the video this morning. And I'm sitting out on the deck. And I turn around and I was like kind of primed myself or ready because today is garbage day and the garbage truck comes by at the same time that I usually want to do my talking portion. And I was ready to have to pause once I heard a loud noise. And I heard a noise and I stopped and I looked around and it was a dude in shorts. I don't remember if it was shorts or half tights, but it was shorts, a chest strap monitor on, like a bandana, no shirt, and running down the street. And I was just like, wow, that's only like the fourth or third runner that I've seen in like this entire summer. And I wanted to be like, who are you? Where are you going? Let's run at a social distance tomorrow. I didn't want to do that because I don't want to run at social distance with anybody. But I just wanted to be like, I wanted to cheer him on. But I also just didn't want, some people are like a little bit self-conscious about their running, so I didn't want to feel like he was getting heckled. But I was really surprised. I saw another runner today. It was amazing. But I'm thinking that guy might be interested in, pizza messaging for runners. So far, that's the demographic. Crespin Greco says, your views on running and full body calisthenics strength training? Sincerely, not only bopping along jogger style. I full body calisthenics strength training. I like body weight strength training personally, because I just going to a gym seems like that's a lot of time that I could have spent running, kind of thing to me. And it seems like everything that I learned about weightlifting, which for me would have been in the late 90s, is now considered bad for you or / unhealthy. So like just the fact that that it changes so much makes me just like, maybe I'll just not worry about that for a little while. And so I like body weight type of like circuit type of work. So higher number of reps because I'm trying to do it for my running. So that's kind of the way that I feel about it. I've started doing it again and my legs are sore all over because I hadn't been doing it for a while. So I have a little circuit that I do with like some squats, some single leg lunges, some of the, what's it called? Single leg deadlifts kind of thing where you do like the Superman thing where you bend down and come back up and try not to fall over. That I feel like more than giving me a deadlift type of workout, it just works on my balance and core. And so I feel like I really like that one. So that's kind of my sense on it is I want to do it to increase strength a little bit, but more to strengthen some of the the ancillary muscles that might not get as much usage during a regular training week, but that having them being strong will be useful when my body is getting fatigued during high mileage weeks or during a race. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. All right. Jody Runs is here. Says, good day, everyone. Awesome. Good to see you, Jody. Robert Archuleta says, from yesterday's topic, my original high school running shoe was Adidas Gazelles. Oh, people speak fondly of that shoe. Made out of kangaroo skin. It was banned a few years later. By the way, this was 1973. I've only heard really good things about people when they talk about Gazelles. That's amazing. But was it banned because of the kangaroo skin? Is that not allowed? Or is that like kangaroos aren't like protected animals, are they? I actually don't know. Well, just because everything's in flux right now. Iowa is like sky is falling here because there's lots of big clashes happening. Not physically, but like things are butting heads where like things are spiking here in Iowa. Spiking might not be the right word, but steadily rising at somewhat of an alarming rate, especially in this county, at a time where they're going to be going to school in like a week. So things are changing rapidly here, and things have been changing in Chicago. It used to be like the 2 days a week in person and then 3 days remote kind of situation. And yesterday, the story leaked before they were ready to really announce it. But today they made the announcement that it's going to go, CPS at least anyway, Chicago Public Schools, it's going to go all virtual, all remote. I'm thrilled about that because we had already notified the school that we would like to do the all remote option. So you can opt out of a 2 day a week school and still be enrolled in school. We weren't really sure what it was going to look like, but we felt like that was going to be safer for us and our family and easier to live with than having to all go back to Chicago, live in the high rise again, and then deal with like 2 days a week. So I feel good about it because then now we're not like the weirdos that hopefully don't get forgotten. Now everyone's doing what we're doing. So I like it personally. Not really. Hank Aaron says this looks like a prison guard hat. Really? I've never been in a prison, so I wouldn't know. but I'm trying to think like a warden's hat. Like, don't they just have trucker hats? I was thinking about it today. I was looking through the paper and I saw an ad for it wasn't Blaine's, it wasn't Menards, it would have been Tyson's. Tyson's is spelled THIESEN'. And there's like they had a coupon for $2 off a Tyson's logo hat, like a trucker hat. You can get it in black and white or black and yellow. And I was thinking I should probably pick one of those up so I can like fit in a little bit better here. I don't think that might look a little bit more like a prison guard hat, I would imagine. But yeah, that's how I feel about the things going on in Chicago in the schools. I think that it just is. It's going to save a lot of trouble to go start off all virtual, at least for like the first quarter, I think is what they were thinking, and they're going to reevaluate. So I think that's a good plan. So I'm happy about it. Bert Legas says. The GPS on my Apple Watch is going bonkers in the forest. Any advice for good running watch that easily syncs with the phone and Strava? GPS and heart rate sensor on the wrist are the only needed features. That's interesting, Bert. I think that, for GPS, I think these days a lot of them are using the same like component, if I'm not wrong. DC Rainmaker would have a better idea of it, but my gist from watching his videos is that they're all using the same, like, not chip is not the right word, I guess transceiver. But my understanding is, though, that the way you pack it in also can affect how well it works. It needs space to work well, is my understanding. So I've been using my Polar watch. I really like that one. But I have not personally noticed a substantial difference between Polar and Garmin in terms of those two companies and their GPS capabilities. So I like those, and those will pair well with the phone and can push to Strava really well. So that's something I would look to. The other thing that I would look to is consider a foot pod, because that's what I did, for being in Chicago where the GPS gets crazy because of all the tall buildings. The foot pod kind of like eliminates that. Your GPS tracing still looks however GPS tracing is going to look. I think it ends up, I'm not exactly sure why, but I think it ends up looking better when there's a foot pod there. But that aside, then at least in your instantaneous pace and distance while you're running. Oh, you want me to try it on? Okay. At least with that, then I will. Then you'll know from something that's not GPS dependent. All right, I got to try on this mask real quick. If it's perfect. Okay. Yeah. So what's going on with that is we bought all these masks a while ago, and we bought ones that had ties that you tie on in the back. And at the time we bought them, tie-on ones were the only ones that were available because there was like a nationwide shortage of elastic. I don't know if you guys remember, like late March, and that was going on. And so now my mother-in-law is like deconstructing them and then sewing in elastic because she has elastic now. Those aren't masks that she made, but she's fixing them for us because I prefer to have elastic than ties. I just think it's a lot easier. We originally also bought a lot of tie masks because we thought for the girls it would help to, since they're children and growing children, it would help to make sure that they have a snug fit. But the way that my mother-in-law did these, she put like a little cincher thing on it, so that way if the elastic's too loose, she could cinch it and make it a little bit tighter. So that's what she's doing. That's what that's all about. By the way, the other day I opened up Twitter, and I've been kind of avoiding Twitter lately because there's a lot of angry people there generally. But I look I looked at Twitter the other day, and YouTube had like tweeted out saying like, if you're looking for the rundown on running masks, check out this video from Kofuzi. And they had linked to my video, and I was like, what? And so I got all these like likes and retweets that I was unaware of for like a day and a half, 2 days, talking about masks. And like, so that was kind of cool. The video that was in Twitter got like 80,000 views. So like that was like absolutely insane. And then I also got it got weird because I got a lot of people that were like, you don't need masks. They're going to make you rebreathe in your CO2 and you'll likely die. And so I just responded to all those people with screenshots of races that I've run in wintertime from like years ago with like a mask and even goggles on. So just that was kind of fun. And then I got some. Then it took another weird turn because apparently YouTube has gotten rid of something. I forget what feature it is that has really affected. I think the vision impaired community. I forget what feature it is. So they were like, "I hate you guys. Bring back this feature." It was kind of one way of it, and I'm sympathetic to it. I just don't have anything to do with it. And then another set of people were really mad because YouTube had recently taken down SpongeBob anime. So there was a lot of threads about SpongeBob anime, and I was just like, I don't understand. I'm like, wow. I usually try to respond to people when they're including me and stuff, but I just don't even know where to begin with that. I was not aware that SpongeBob anime was a thing. All right. So, sorry about rambling again, but that's what's going on lately around here. Tomosa 10101010. I'm assuming that's a binary joke. Or maybe you're born on October 10th, 2010. Either way, pretty awesome. Ask this question. Do you think you made the right training decisions so far in your running journey, at least the part filmed on YouTube? What would you recommend for someone getting back into the sport? I mean, I feel like I've done it. I don't know if I made it the right. I feel like I've made reasonable training decisions. Yeah, I mean, like if you were trying to if I was gonna go back and like do Mapatone again, I don't know that I would like start someone out with it because I've been getting a lot of comments from people that are like, yeah, I'm just starting out running and I thought I'd do Mapatone. That's a very efficient way if you're looking at like a long-term multi-year running plan. But I also feel like it's a really great way to minimize the chances that you'll love running in the first like 2 or 3 months because it's not an exciting way to run, I'll tell you. So like it's one of the things that I think about when I think about like how a person should go from like having 0 running shoes to like having multiple running shoes. The first shoe I feel like people should get is the Daily Trainer. The second shoe that makes sense to me is the long run shoe. But I also feel like that's a boring choice to make for your second shoe. Your second shoe should be something more exciting, something that you might want to race in for like your first 5K or 10K, or something that you use for faster days like Hyperion Tempo, endorphin speed, something that's a little bit more exciting to keep you interested in it. So like I think that, with me kind of meandering in the different pathways that I've done and kind of bumbling through different training styles and no training style, I think that makes sense for me. I don't have any regrets about it. So, but what would I recommend for someone getting back into the sport? Find a way of running that's fun and go with that. And then see when and if you start bumping into like some like kind of plateaus. If it starts getting boring, if you start like you're not getting results that you want, then I think you can start looking at other things. But run in a way that's interesting if you're just starting out. Run in a way that's going to keep you coming back for more. Run in a group. Run with other people. Well, if you can safely do that. I don't really think a lot of people can be safely doing that right now. I see it a lot. But that's up to you guys. But run in a way that's going to keep you coming back. That's I guess it would be the shortest way I can answer that. Jesse says, it's time to go back to Chicago if you get excited to see a runner on the road. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I miss it. I miss the lakefront a lot. I miss like how beautiful the sunrises are this time of year. Yeah, I think I told you guys about it, but like a couple of weeks ago, we were going on a family walk and some lady was jogging, running. I don't want to like belittle it. But she was running and she kind of stopped and was like, hey, did I see you running the other? How far is that? I was like, it's a little bit more than 5. And she goes, oh, that sounds great. So I think she's a distance runner as well. And one of my brother-in-law who lives like down the street, he's been like, yeah, there's a couple of ladies that run around here. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. He's like, you probably just saw, and like, I forget the names. Let's just say like Janet or like Jennifer. It's like, you probably just saw Janet or you saw Jennifer. What color hair did she have? And he'd be like, oh, my brother-in-law knows everybody. So like, he's like, oh yeah. Here's who you saw. I'm like, I saw someone. I was like, I'll tell my brother, I'm like, hey, I saw someone that has a dog. Do you know anyone that runs with a dog around here? And so he'll be like, oh yeah. All right, let's see what else we got here. Not really. Hank Aaron says, was she slow? I mean, she was running. She was slower than me. I don't know if that makes her slow, but yeah, she was running. I've seen her out a couple of times, so she's someone that I recognized. I don't know that I've seen her anywhere other than like just in town though. So I don't know if she just runs loops. There's lots of people in the neighborhood that will like walk jog. That's pretty popular around here, and I see them out like usually in the evenings when I go out with my family. So it's everyone here is trying to get active. I don't know if it's just recently or if it's always been that way. I know my in-laws they go in kind of spurts in terms of how active they want to be. But yeah, it's been interesting to see. All right. Yeah, J. Mike Remy says, I keep wanting to come out for group runs, but just can't bring myself to do it yet. Yeah, I don't know that I would be ready for do it personally, but yeah. Stevie76 says, don't run with Karen. Yeah. I think there probably could be a lot of Karens around, not in this town, but like just generally in this county. What's interesting is there are a couple of houses around here that have very prominently and proudly displayed Trump flags, and my daughter's like, we're walking around the neighborhood like at night, and there's sound carries in the neighborhood through here, and like every time she sees it, she'll be like, we're in Trump country now, and I'll be like, I want to be like, shh, yeah, you are, so be quiet. So yeah, so there might be Karens out here. I'm going to assume that there aren't, because I don't know, so I'm going to assume that there aren't, but it's possible. Daniel Hernandez says, how many miles per week does someone have to run to be considered a distance runner? I mean, I would say that if you are going out for runs, and I don't think there's a number. I think that would only like really matter if like maybe at like the high school and college level. Then it wouldn't be miles per week. It would usually be like the races that you run. So like in high school, like 800 and above was considered distance runners. I mean, 800 is like on the bubble. I think once you get to like the college level, it's like milers are kind of like the lower end of what's considered distance runners. So that's kind of how I would break it down. After that, if you're training for anything longer than like a 10K, then I'd consider you a distance runner, even if you're training for a 10K. Because you're probably at that point running, 15, 20 miles per week. That's a lot of miles. So even if you're assuming you're just starting to get into 10K. So MC1796 says, what's up, Kofuzi? What's going on? All right. Yeah, Frank Lahilier says, Donovan Brazier says he's never run for a full hour. I saw that the other day, and I thought it was pretty funny. But, like, doesn't Usain Bolt have, like, the same kind of, like, weird thing where he says he's never run a mile before? Or something, like, just insane like that, which makes sense because he runs, like, 100 and 200. But, I feel like at some point he probably has run longer than that. But, Yeah, but what's his Donovan Brazier run? Is he a 100 or 200 guy, or is he he's not an 800 guy? I can't imagine that. I forget what he runs. Yeah. Kai Smithley says, Daniel Hernandez, I think it's mostly a thing that you determine from how far your races are, or if you run several miles a day. Yeah, I think that's pretty right on. I would agree with that. All right. Let's see. JB9 says, rocking the East Bay. Yeah, I only brought I really like this shirt. It's a little bit thick, so it's actually on a day like today, it really works out well. But I only brought like a handful of t-shirts thinking that we'd be here for like the hottest months of the summer. And so I have mostly like singlets / tank tops, like whatever. I don't know what the difference is, but I have mostly tank tops. And so I find myself like thinking, like when I get dressed in the morning, like, oh, what shirt do I want to have on in the video today? I'm like, I feel like I just wore that shirt 3 times last week. And when I say that to myself, I think I'm usually right, but there just aren't that many shirts to go through. I feel like, at some point we're going to have to go back to Chicago to like at least switch out wardrobes because the seasons will change. And I feel like I'm just going to like, at that point, just donate and get rid of these t-shirts just because they've been on like YouTube enough, and have like a different set of t-shirts. I have a t-shirt problem already. I just have too many. I keep kind of just collecting, even though I try to make a big effort to not collect them. Jay Weingart says, New Balance Propel version 2. I think that shoe looks really nice. I didn't run the Propel 1. But the Propel 2, I think I might take a look at that one. Because I think then if you look at that, I think it could make a nice video with like the Propel 2 and then the 890 version 8. They have that similar, like, very prominent diagonal stripe, similar kind of like design / sculpting on the midsole foam, pretty tall stack heights. I think it looks nice. I feel like this year New Balance could have had a really gigantic year if it wasn't for the fact that Saucony had an even more gigantic year. So I feel like I don't want them to like be as an organization to be like discouraged from like pushing in the ways that they haven't, because I think it's been really great. Lewis M says, any new Kofuzi merch coming out soon? Yeah, I think that what's long overdue is I'm going to make a Kofuzi Run Club t-shirt with this logo on it. I'll probably do that one in white. It's just a matter of me spending like 30 minutes to like sit down and put it together, and then I think I'll probably order it first before I really like release it. But I think that's the one that'll come out next. I was going to do like the summer racing kit, but I don't think it's going to happen this year, guys. Sorry to say that. Yeah, it's I was having a hard time finding one that I could do as a print on demand. I was loath to do the sorry, giant truck going by. I didn't really want to buy a whole bunch of them ahead of time and then try to sell them that way. And then there's the additional factor of that, like if I have to ship them out, I'm having a hard time figuring out how to ship internationally without going inside of a business, which I'm sure would be fine, like to go into the post office, but if I can avoid that. So I think I'm going to try and stay within the boundaries of Teespring and what Teespring offers. I wish Teespring would just make a tech tee type of shirt. That would solve a lot of my problems. Not a lot, but I would just really like that, because I'd rather have a running t-shirt than just a regular t-shirt. So Stevie76 says, angry people in Twitter, for sure. You know what I did, guys, is remember when like all sorts of politicians were getting really mad at Twitter for censoring them, and then like all those guys went over to Parler, Parler, which I never know if it's called Parler or Parlay, like if you're supposed to pronounce it like it's French. But they went over there, and then it became like a very also angry place. But I signed up for an account and downloaded the app just to look around and see who was posting what, and if what they were posting there was any different than what they were posting in like Instagram or Twitter. And after a while, it got really toxic, and I was just like, I can't be in here anymore. I'm not super empathic, so like when there's like lots of energy like that, it's not like it drains me, but like that place drains me. And I felt like I tried to like I guess I didn't like close my account. I don't know how to do that, but I'm still getting emails from it, and I'm like, there's no unsubscribe anywhere on the email. So I feel like you have to like go into the app and then like unsubscribe that way. So like that is an angry place. Sorry, I was just going through the chat again and then seeing like the angry people in Twitter thing. But yeah, interesting place. All right. Guy Smithley says, can we get some 2-inch non-elite shorts, pretty please? I don't know. I mean, yeah, for the reasons I discussed, I think I want to stay within Teespring, because Teespring just puts it right in the YouTube channel, so it's underneath all the videos, which is I think how most people, you guys, kind of like interact with me, and then they also handle all like the printing and shipping, and I could do it internationally without me being the holdup. I've learned that I'm really bad at when I'm the holdup kind of thing, at least for like merch type of stuff. Alan Tang asks, are you permanently based out of Iowa now? No. My clothes are still in a pile in the corner over there. My wife's clothes are in a pile over behind that thing. The kids have moved their stuff into the drawers in the room behind us over there. But I think that was just like my mother-in-law's way of keeping them occupied for an afternoon. But yeah, we're here for now. We still have our place in Chicago. It's kind of like, I feel like it's like going to be in like Mount Vesuvius kind of like state where like things, I mean, like, I know we tried to like clean it up knowing that we'd be gone for at least weeks at a time, but like, it'll be interesting to see what it looks like when we go back to it. But I mean, we got to go back. My business is still there. So we got to go back, and, you know, I'm hoping that soon we can just like resume life, go back to normal, but we'll see what happens. I don't know when that'll be. All right. 42 BJT42 says, "Hi Kofuzi, hope all good with you. Looking to order replacement for my second pair of peg turbos. I use them as easy/long run shoe. Any suggestions for a replacement?" Well, I would first suggest peg turbo 2s. So that'd be like the first thing that I would suggest if you like that shoe. The other shoe that I would look at is probably the Nova Blast. So I think those might fit for you. Let's see. JB9 says, opinion on heart rate training and still entering races. Hope that's not too hot of a topic to bring up. You know, I made the video about like heart rate zones today, and I don't know if maybe all the angry people just haven't gotten to it yet. But usually whenever I talk about heart rate training, there's some very like fired up people about it that love to tell me how like basically dumb I am for using heart rate or specifically mapatone training, which is cool. If that's what you believe, awesome. So I don't think it's a hot topic, but it tends to like flare people up a little. But my opinion on it is it seems to work for me. I think it works for me. And it helps me do, if there's only one thing it helps me do, it helps me find like a way of defining what an easy run is and staying at that easy run. So what I think it has enabled me to do so far in terms of the benefits that I've gotten from it is, well, I've gotten stronger where I can run faster and faster at the same heart rate. So I'm feeling that kind of benefit. But the other part of that benefit is that I feel like I can, I'm more durable. So I can run more miles and absorb that kind of training without injury, knock on wood. And then, so the next phase will be to then take that ability to absorb lots of mileage and then also throw hard work into it. So like, you know, tighten the screws a little bit. So that's kind of my goal of where I want it to go. First, build the horsepower, or the way that I really like to look at it is like, it's like building a blade. You forge all the steel, you get all that material on there and make a big, strong blade. Then you have to hone it and really sharpen it down. So like I've been doing a lot of the forging, and I'm ready to like start honing it soon. Today felt really good, so I think it's gonna be like my next like block, whatever it is coming soon, I think. Let's see what else we got here. Chris said, I left some feedback on the heart rate video regarding his math experience so far. Cool. I don't know that I've seen it yet, so I'll go and double check it out. Awesome. EL says, I'm pretty sure he did not mean HRT, like heart rate training. And what is the HRT is there? Oh, hormone replacement therapy. That's a very different thing. Yeah, I don't really know anything about it. Sorry. That's very different. Very different. Yeah. But are you talking about like Castor Semenya? Is that what that is about? Sorry, I read that. Well, I was just, my mind was on that heart rate training video. Yeah. Neat Penguin asks, how long has it taken you guys to recover from a pulled muscle and get back out running? I don't know that I've ever pulled a muscle before, but I think it would depend on which muscle and how bad a tear or pull. A tear would be, a pull is different than a tear. I'm not sure. All right. Yeah, Martha says, the trouble with acronyms and abbreviations, multiple meanings. Yes, for sure. Sorry about that. Yeah. Donald Beck says, I think your feet get stronger at lower paces, and he loves this sword analogy. Yeah, I mean, the other way to think of it is kind of like, it's kind of like I don't know if you guys played a lot of Angry Birds, but there was one when you launch the bird and then you tap the screen again, and then it goes up on a trajectory, and then when you press the screen again, it then shoots down, right? I feel like a lot of like when you're doing low heart rate training or heart rate training, The base building part is that. And at any point, you can start training for a race, but that's going to be the part where you shoot down. So if you want to like really maximize your potential, you got to build base, build base, build base, build base. And then once you've gotten to that correct peak, then start like the intensity and race specific work. So that's another way I look at it. That probably is less, it's less succinct of an analogy, but I like it. It's that one bird in Angry Birds. Yeah. Ellen Tank says, late, but thanks for clarifying about Iowa. Just wondering. Hope your business hasn't been impacted too much by COVID. I mean, it's kind of hard. My business depends on civil trials primarily, and at least in the county that I normally do a lot of our work in, the courthouses are pretty much close to trials. So it's very, very slow, which is kind of good, though, because there's other things to take care of. Yeah. Trey Good says, what are the best running shorts with a liner? Inseam length? Humidity in Charleston is causing crazy chafing, even with lubrication. Well, Trey, it might be time for you to go to the 2-inch short. I feel like that's where you're still going to get a liner, but there's less material for chafing. So that's something to think about. But if maybe the problem is that you need more length, then I might consider a half tight. But the half tights usually are a little bit warmer than the 2-inch shorts or the 3-inch shorts. I personally like 5-inch shorts. That's my favorite length. But I recently got a pair of 3-inch shorts. Roadrunner Sports sent me one. And I do like the 2-inch shorts that I have. I've got 2 pair of those now. It's quite a summer. Everything's different this year. Delaney Ball asks, when did you start running? How long have you been building your current fitness level? I think like the more accurate or more precise answer for that would be somewhere, I think like early 2016 is when I started running like again. I've been running, I started running in like middle school. So I remember being on the track team in like 7th grade. I was running the 800. And sometimes I ran the mile. I usually tried to figure out some sort of excuse as to why I couldn't race the mile. But I would run the 800. And then I did a variety of field events as well, some of the jumping ones. But that was a long time ago. And then I took very long breaks. Ran a marathon in 2010, couch to marathon. It was miserable. I don't recommend couch to marathon to anybody. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm sure lots of people have done it well. I don't recommend it. I didn't like it. And then it was so bad that I didn't run again for like 6 years. So yeah, it took about 4 years to get to here. Reed Morris says, love my New Balance Impact 5-inch short, super breathable and comfortable. I was just thinking today that right before we came to Iowa, I had ordered a couple of things from Tracksmith. I ordered a pair of their half tight and a singlet, and I think it arrived like the day after we left. So hopefully it's still there at the building. I don't know. That package room, there's a package room in the building. It's like a cage in the building where you have to use a key card access to get into it. But like, I have no idea what that area is going to look like, given like, I don't know, maybe is Super Schmaltz here? How's it looking down there? Super Schmaltz lives in my building, and yeah, but I've got like some Tracksmith shorts that I hope are still there. I don't know if like at some point they go through and like, this has been here for forever. Let's just pitch it, which I wouldn't blame them if they did, because it's only got so much space in there. Yeah. John Bujnowski says, after a hard run, have your knees ever tingled? Asking for a friend. I get that occasion, not tingle, but I have like they'll start to lightly throb, usually in the wintertime. Right around the freezing point for some reason, right there is, there are a couple of runs that I've been on. Well, you know what? It's probably from when I notice it mostly when I'm here in Iowa and I go run the Heritage Trail where I have to drive to there. And then I'll notice it when I go for a run there and then sit in the car to drive back home. Then I might notice my knees throb sometimes. So I don't know if it's the change in temperature from going from cold to sitting in a car where like the heat's blasting on me, or sitting immediately after a cold run that does it. But sometimes I'll have like some light throbbing of the knees. It's not usually a big deal for me, but I don't know if tingling is the right word that I would use for it. So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means it's good for you or bad for you, John, or what, but I think I kind of know what you mean. Stevie76 says, all my marathons are couch to marathon. That's funny. Trent Wicker says, why do you think it's hard for athletes coming from different disciplines like cycling to get into running? Fitness speaking? Like fitness speaking. I didn't know that was an issue. But I guess if I were to hypothesize, shoot from the hip on that one, it would be because maybe they think running's a little bit more boring. Because I'm guessing if they liked running, they would have picked that first, but instead they picked cycling. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know that, but I'm not the right person to ask that. I guess I don't know. KGKD says, was Couch to Marathon a training plan or an event? If the former, how many weeks? Just reading a book where a case study trained 15 months from 0 to first marathon. It was on my 30th birthday. I was having a cookout on the roof. Not a barbecue because I don't barbecue, but I had a grill out on the roof with my running buddy and his wife, or his wife at the time. He's divorced now, but they were up there, and it was Memorial Day weekend. No, yeah, I think it was Memorial Day weekend, and it was 2010. And after too many beers, which I feel like that's how most couch marathons start. After too many beers, I was like, hey, my dad was telling me he's running his first marathon. He's going to be exactly twice my age because I was going to be 30 that year and he was 60. And I was like, I should probably do it. I was like, that sounds amazing. And somehow my running buddy probably egged me on into it. If I don't remember which way it was, but at some point by the end of the night, I was like, all right, I'm going to do it too. So that's how I got into it. And so I had from like June 1st to like October, like it was like the week, 2 weeks after Chicago. So it was like October, like end of October. That's how long I had. So what's that? Like 4 months? Yeah, that was not enough time. I was not active at all before that. Yeah. JB9 says cycling is 1,000 times more boring than running. I mean, I don't know. I guess I've never really had a bike workout before. I mean, I've ridden a bike. I bike commute from time to time, but I've never like ridden a bike for a workout. I've done Zwift, or I've watched The Mandalorian while I'm on a spin bike. That's about it. But I've never done like a bike workout. So I don't know. We're still working on getting the bikes. But my brother-in-law is, my wife's little brother is coming today. He's like on the way now. He's coming over today. He wants to pick up a saw from my father-in-law. He's got quite the wood shop, and he has all the tools. And I think they're redoing the trim in their bathroom. Anyway, he's coming to pick up a saw. But he's also going to drop off an old bike that his daughter has. His daughter is a couple years older than my daughter. She can't ride that bike anymore, so they're going to bring it to see if it works for my daughter. So a lot of you guys mentioned that the bike that my daughter rode in the video from 2 days ago was too small for her. I know it definitely is. But we've just been waiting to get her new bike. And then as soon as she gets a new bike, we'll give that red bike to the baby. So it'll be fun. All right. KG says about that couch to marathon. 4 months. Better than some that do London Marathon. Many do 12-week plans. Woo. And have no idea the world of pain they are in for. Much respect to anyone that can endure more than 4 hours. My first marathon, that 2010 marathon, was like 4 hours and 43, 42 minutes, something like that. It was long. Really long. And Baltimore, the marathon there is really hilly. I had no idea until like the morning of. And I had been training in Chicago where it's super flat. And then I got to Baltimore and they're like, are you ready for the hills today? And I was like, what are you talking about? And so like that's how I found out that Baltimore is hilly. Yeah. All right. Recycle on Wendy says, with running versus cycling, there's the impact and it takes a while to adapt to that. It's frustrating to be fitter than your feet, as it were. Maybe that's part of it. I could definitely see that. And I could see that from from swimmers too, especially because I think swimming is much more of a skill. It's like a skill endurance sport, which kind of like are two words that don't normally go together. Or swimming can be an endurance sport. And so I feel like when you've gotten really good at that and your lung capacity is really good, then like you're on the ground where like your body's taking much more impact. I feel like that could be a real big like deterrent. That wouldn't be pleasant. So maybe that's why. Or maybe just runners are just different kind of crazy. That could certainly be it too. Yeah, I don't know. J. Mike Remy says, I'm going to stay away from the cycling soapbox today. He's trying to get everyone on a bike, which is definitely cool. Definitely cool. I don't take any offense to that. I think it's very welcome. All right. With that, I think I'm going to get going. Going to get ready for brother-in-law to come over. I haven't seen him. I mean, I saw him a couple of times on, virtually, but I haven't seen him in a while. We'll be distant, wearing masks and stuff. We'll do all that outside. But it'll be good to see him. But yeah. So I'll get ready for that. Tomorrow's video is going to be a video about the Triumph 18, putting it up against the Nova Blast, which I think will be pretty interesting. Comparison video, so that should be fun. And then we'll do what's tomorrow? Thursday? Happy hour. Tomorrow for a happy hour, I'm not going to have beer. I'm going to have coffee. A new kind of coffee. I was going to make a regular video about it, and I still may, but I thought for happy hour, that'd be a great time to taste it for the first time. So that'll be it. So in the meantime, hopefully you guys are staying safe out there on your runs, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, everybody.